Hey, what's up everybody, Fate here and welcome back to a new video. Today, we're going to try something different. We're going to go through every Pokemon region, see the Pokemon that are in that Pokedex, specifically the new ones, the ones that came out in those specific generations, and we're going to choose 6 Pokemon out of those Pokemon that are in that region and use them for an official team for that region. Now, if you know anything about my content, you'll know that I love Pokemon, right? So, I've played these Pokemon games for years on this channel alone, and I know I've been playing Pokemon games since I was like a 3rd or 4th grader with Pokemon X and Y. So, we're going to try something cool today with this video. Speaking of this video, I'm actually going to be splitting this type of thing into 2 different parts. So there's going to be this video you guys are watching now, and there's going to be one other video that's going to come out later, where I'm basically just splitting the generations in half. So the way I'm doing it is each region, so for each set of games, I'm going to be doing a specific team for those specific games. Like for example, Johto. The Johto region, I'm going to be doing it for Silver, Gold, Crystal, Heart Gold, and Soul Silver. So for all of those games, I'm going to choose a specific team that I'm going to be using for that, if I were to do that. Now, I'm not just going to choose 6 of any of the Pokemon, any 6 Pokemon to use on the team. I have some rules in place to deter that. As you can see, I got this Google Doc here. That's why I'm in the reaction setup and not the face cam. So, before we get into all this down here, I'll explain that in a second. But we're going to read these first. These are the rules for how we're going to set these teams up. The first one is no legendaries or mythicals. It's going to be a regular playthrough team, and legendaries and mythicals are either 1, impossible to get, mainly mythicals, unless you trade it in, transfer it, or do mystery gifts or whatever. Mythicals are off the table for that. And if they're not mythicals, then the legendaries are either saved for the post game, or you get them so late in the game that you already should have a team set by the time you actually get that legendary. So there's not even a point in them by that point. Because I know that for most games, I know the Sinnoh games, like the Kalos games, I know that most games don't have legendaries available until the 7th gym badge. And by that point, you should already have a team set. Or if not, you should already be having plans to actually know how to build that team whenever you get to that point. You feel me? So, for example, when I played Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl, when I did that, I decided that when I caught Dialga, I decided not to use it. It was a dragon and steel type. The reason why I didn't want to use it is because I already had a steel type with the Magnezone I was using. It might have been a Magneton at the time. No, it wasn't. Nah, I evolved it at the same place that I was going to get Dialga at. So I had a Magnezone by that point, and I wasn't going to overlap typings. So I decided to use Magnezone instead of Dialga for the steel type. And then I also wanted to use a Garchomp on my team for the dragon type. So both the dragon and the steel types were taken up by other Pokemon I had planned on the team. Or that I already had on the team. So I didn't use Dialga. Situations like that is the reason why legendaries and mythicals are already off the board for this. Now the next rule I'm choosing is, you know what, since I already kind of mentioned this, I'm going to go ahead and say this rule next. The next rule I'm going to mention is no type overlaps on the team. The reason why I don't want any type overlaps is because I want to get as many dual-typed Pokemon, and I want to get as many different types in the team as possible. So if I could get 6 dual-type Pokemon 6 dual-type Pokemon that don't overlap with each other, that's 12 different typings I could use. There's 18 typings in total, so having 12 different types on the team would be fire. Like, that would be a really good thing to have. You feel me? And then, yeah, and then the other thing is we have to pick one starter and only one starter for the team. So, like, for example, in Kanto, if you wanted to have a Charizard and a Venusaur on the team at the same time, you can't do that, because if you're thinking about it as a regular Pokemon team, you can only have one starter on your regular team unless you transfer the other starters in from other games. So we're going to just assume you don't have the ability to transfer Pokemon in, which means you can only have one starter on your team. I know that there's certain games, like the Let's Go games, for example, where you can actually catch more than one starter. And I'll get into that in a second. But also, there's two different parts to that rule. There's the one starter and only one starter rule. And then the second part, as you can see in these parentheses right here, is that starter that you choose has to be used on the team. So say you're in Kanto and you choose to have a Charizard as your starter, you have to use it on your team. It has to be on your final team. You guys don't have to do it this way. If you guys want to do this at home, you don't have to set up the rules like this. This is just how I'm doing it for my personal teams, because I like using starters on my team. I don't really like using legendaries or mythicals, mainly for the reason that usually legendaries are in the game, so you can catch legendaries so late in the game that you'll already have Pokemon in your head that you'd want to catch. And then no type overlaps, because I like having as many different types on the team as I can. Makes the team more versatile and more fun to use in battle. And just more coverage overall, so that's good. So, yeah, those were the rules I could come up with before starting to record this video. So, I guess now that I've gone over all of them, let me check how long I've been recording for. Okay, 7 minutes. I don't want this video to be too long, which is why I'm splitting it into two parts. So, there's actually going to be a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 different teams for this. The reason why that's the case, even though there's only 9 generations, is because there's 2 extra teams I'm doing. So as you can see here, the Kanto team. There's a Kanto team that's going to be excluding the Let's Go games in Pokemon Yellow. So it's going to be like Pokemon Red, Pokemon Green, Pokemon Blue, Pokemon Fire Red, and Pokemon Leaf Green. There's going to be those games for this, considering the way that the Let's Go games in Pokemon Yellow work is different. And then there's going to be a team specifically for the Let's Go games in Pokemon Yellow. The reason why those are in 2 different categories is because the Pokemon that you can get are different. Like, there's some Pokemon that you can get in the Let's Go games that you can't get in the other games for Kanto, which is why I'm taking them into separate teams. And as you can see down here, Johto and Hoenn are regular, but Sinnoh isn't. There's a Sinnoh team that's for Legends Arceus, and then there's going to be a team that's for all the other games. So Diamond, Pearl, Platinum, Brilliant Diamond, and Shining Pearl are all going to have this team right here that says excluding Legends Arceus. And then this team is just going to be for Legends Arceus. The reason why that is because since Legends Arceus is its own game, there's actually a lot of Pokemon that's in that game that aren't in the other Sinnoh games. So I would like to just use those Pokemon. Straight up. So, with that all in mind, now that we got all that out of the way, let's get started on these teams, shall we? So, Kanto Pokédex Pokemon. Let's look at a list of all the Kanto Pokemon. We're going to use this list for the games that aren't the Let's Go games of Pokemon Yellow and for the Let's Go game of Pokemon Yellow list. Considering they're the same Pokemon, just going to be used a different way. Okay, can I get like an actual list? Please give me an actual list. Here we go. Okay. It's actually going to show the megas as well, which is kind of annoying. So, I guess, for this sake, so, I'm not gonna do the Alola forms for the Kanto game, just because the Let's Go games are the only games you can actually access that. So I might use the Alola forms for my final team on the Let's Go games. But for now, I'm just gonna hold off on that. You feel me? I'm not gonna use any of the Hisuian forms though for that, because you can't get them in the Let's Go games, so those are off the table. Okay, so now that we got this list here, I'm actually going to go straight to the top, because the first Pokemon we're going to write down is Charizard. Charizard's my favorite starter out of all of these guys, and the Fire Flying is going to be useful in my opinion. So let's write down Charizard, and then write down his typing. So Fire/Flying. Okay, so Charizard on the team. Okay, so we can't use any fire or any flying types anymore. The next Pokemon I want to use, I did kind of look at the Unova and the Kanto decks before doing this, which is kind of why I have more insight. You know, the Alolan Raichu might not be a bad call for the Let's Go games. I'm going to hold off on it for now, though, because I'm not on the Let's Go games right now. The next Pokemon I think I want to use is Nidoking. He is a poison and ground type. So it's two typings I don't have on the team yet. Not to mention, Nidoking is a really good Pokemon. So that's why I'm going to choose to use it for this team. The next Pokemon I want to use is Poliwrath, who is a water/fighting type. Okay. I want to use that guy because those are both typings I don't have on the team yet, and Poliwrath is a pretty decent Pokemon. Pretty strong, and it's got some good coverage. So you could use, like, Ice Punch or Ice... Hold on, is it a physical or a special attacker? It doesn't say it's special attack on here, but it does say it's physical attack. So I don't know if... Hold on, is Poliwrath... I'm assuming it's more of a physical attacker. Is Poliwrath a physical... That's special. So special or physical attacker. I don't know which one. Oh, it's both. So you could use, like... I think Ice Beam is better than Ice Punch. So you could use, like, Ice Beam, like, Power Up Punch to help you with, like, your physical attack and to do some extra damage. Use, like, Hydro Pump or, like... I'd probably use something else, like maybe Surf. I think Surf would be a really good one for Poliwrath. And then, like, use some kind of, like, extra fighting type move, like Drain Punch or Close Combat or something, and I think that would go crazy. But let's look at the rest of these Pokemon and try to figure out what Pokemon I would like to use for the other slot. We've already taken up the water typing. Okay. Steel types didn't exist when the original Kanto games came out, so we're gonna pretend Steel and Dark don't exist, at least for this, because even though they do for Fire Red, Leaf Green, they didn't for, like, Red, Blue, and Green. So we're gonna just pretend that doesn't exist. We already chose Poison, so Gengar's off the list, which means we're not having a Ghost type, which is kind of annoying, but it's fine. We could use Exeggutor for the Grass Psychic, but I don't think that's a good idea. Fire Ghost. It's pretty cool. And then all these... Okay, hold on. I'm going to wait until I get finished looking through all of these. What? Why does it say that Tauros' normal form is a water ground type? Yeah, that's gotta be a typo. This one's gotta be a massive typo. There's no way it's a water ground. You know what? I'm just gonna pretend that's not the case. What I would like to... Hold on. Let me finish looking through all of these. Okay. I did say no legendaries, but I didn't say anything about the pseudo-legendaries. However, the flying type is already taken up, so I'm not able to use Dragonite, which means no dragon types on the team either. So I don't think I'll be able to use all dual types because there's a lot of duplicate dual types on this game. So I think the 4th slot on this team should be given a Snorlax. It's a pure normal type, however, it is one of the tankiest motherfuckers I have ever met, so it's got really good defensive stats, and you put like Rest and Sleep Talk or Rest and Snore on that motherfucker, throw some other like good moves for coverage or whatever, he's gonna be strong as hell. Let me do normal. So now normal types are off the table. Okay. And then I actually want to do a comparison. I'm gonna compare Raichu and Jolteon, because since there's not any dual typings I can use, I want a pure electric type. Huh. This search may be relevant to recent activity. Jolteon versus Raichu. So let's use Bulbapedia to look at its stats, because I want to see which one is stronger between Raichu and Jolteon. The winner of this will be used for this team that I'm building. I don't want to see Alolan Raichu stats. I want to see regular Raichu stats. I don't have to worry about that with Jolteon because there's not any other form for Jolteon, thankfully. So let's just stick with regular Raichu stats, please. Where's its stats? It's showing me everything else but its stats right now. I hope it actually shows me its stats. Let's see here. Okay, it's showing me everything but its stats right now. Does it not have stats on this website? That could be on me because I didn't look up stats. I just put in the name of the Pokemon. So let's just go back and put Raichu. God damn it. Okay. Come on. Stats. There. What is that rattling sound back there? So go back and then put Jolteon stats. So I do, while I wait for those to load, hold on, let me do, let's do not Bulbapedia, Pokemon database. By the way, guys, if you want to use any websites that are trustworthy for this stuff, there's 3 different websites I would recommend for you for Pokemon information. Cerebi, Bulbapedia, and Pokemon database. Those are all really trustworthy sources. Even though on Cerebi there's probably going to be typos like this, Tauros being a water ground type, but if you move past that, then it's actually not a bad thing to look at. Now, let's see here. While we wait for those to load, I might as well look through here and see what the other Pokemon's going to be on the team. So, I think just because of how good it was back in Gen 1, and even though it's another pure typing, it's still a really good Pokemon, especially for Kanto. I'm going to put Alakazam. It's a pure psychic type. However, if you guys know, how do you spell psychic? Psychic. Is that how you spell psychic? How the fuck you spell psychic? Psych. Oh, that's why. Okay. So, bam. Okay. So I wanted to add Alakazam onto the team because it's a really good Pokemon, and even though it's a pure psychic type, which is kind of annoying, at the same time, I really like using Alakazam, and it's really powerful, which makes it pretty much like a really good option. So where's its stats at? Base stats, here we go. So 485, Jolteon's is 525, and it's really fast. Okay, it's faster than Raichu, got higher special attack, so it's a really good special attacker. It's got 110 compared to the 90. It's got better special defense as well. 65. Okay. So some of it's like its physical attack stat is worse than Raichu, but it looks like everything else is better on Jolteon. So I guess with that being said, that gives us our answer. The final member of the team will be Jolteon. Because I was going to go between Jolteon and Raichu for the electric type on the team. But since Jolteon is statistically better, in my opinion, than Raichu, I'm going with Jolteon for that spot. Now that that's dealt with, we're going to go with my Kanto team for the Let's Go games in Pokemon Yellow. First member of the team, don't even have to look at the list. It's going to be Pikachu. The reason why it's going to be Pikachu is because I did make a rule that whatever starter you get given, you have to be use it on the team. And since the only possible option for Let's Go Pikachu and Pokemon Yellow is Pikachu, that's going to be your only option. I'm going to put in parentheses or Eevee if playing Let's Go Eevee. Which is a normal type. Oh, fuck. There we go. Okay, now who are we going to choose for the next one? I think that we're going to do Charizard again. So, Fire, Flying. But since we can have all three starters, I'm not going to do all three starters. But what I am going to do is I'm going to use Charizard again. And then I'm going to add Venusaur to the team for the grass/poison type. The only problem is I can now no longer use Nidoking on the team. So I'm going to have to find a replacement Pokemon for the ground type. But what I am going to do, though, is I don't think I want to change too much about the way this team is built. So I can't use Jolteon anymore because of the Pikachu. So that's off. I think that using Poliwrath again is a good idea. So, water fighting. Okay. Okay, so there's 4 Pokemon now on the team. I need to find 2 more Pokemon. I need to... Okay. So let's look at the list again. We could use Golem. And we also could use Rhydon. What typing is Rhydon? Oh, yeah. We can also use the Alolan forms. So I think what I'm going to do here is I'm going to use Ninetales Alolan form. Since we can actually get them, we can get the Alola forms in the Let's Go games. So if it's Pokemon Yellow, then I'm gonna replace this Pokemon with Snorlax. Nah. I'm gonna switch it with Alakazam if playing Pokemon Yellow. Bam. And then the reason why I want to use Alolan Ninetales is because it's an Ice Fairy type and it's really good. Like, the Ice Fairy type is going to help out a lot on the team. Hold on. So let me check something. Rhydon stats. And then Golem stats. Bam. Bam. We're going to wait for these to get done loading, and then this is what's going to decide the final member of the team. 'Cause, yeah, they're both ground rock. So I guess just whichever one's better. So Rhydon's base stats are 485, and Golem is 495. So it is slightly better. Wow, that is weird, actually. So both of them are physical attackers. Okay. However, Rhydon has 130 base attack and 120 base defense. However, Golem has 120 base attack and 130 base defense. So, it's attacking Rhydon and Golem's physical attack and physical defensive stats were switched when they were made. So, Golem has a slightly higher base stat total, which makes sense. It's a fully evolved Pokemon, whereas now Rhydon is no longer a fully evolved Pokemon, but still. So yeah, I think I'm going to choose Golem because it only has 10 less physical attack and its base stat total is higher. Wow, yeah, 45, 45, and 40 for the rest of those is crazy. So yeah, I'm going to choose Golem for that team. The only caveat, the only problem with using Golem over Rhydon is that 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, there's 6 Pokemon. The only problem with using Golem instead of Rhydon is that with Rhydon, you just have to level it up to level 42, and then your Pokemon will be set, fully evolved. With Golem, you have to level up a Geodude to level 25 to get it to evolve into Graveler, and then if you want, because I know that at a certain level, while it's still a Geodude, it'll learn Earthquake. So if you do that, because I'm pretty sure I did that, I waited until my Geodude got to a certain level to learn Earthquake before it evolved into Graveler. So if you do that, like what I did, you have to wait even longer than level 25. And then you got to get it to... Then you got to go trade it over. You got to trade it to another game, get it evolved into Golem by trading it, and then you got to trade it back. Which is kind of annoying, but if you get that done, you got a better Pokemon. Trade Pokemon are kind of annoying to deal with for this list, but yeah. We're going to deal with it. So now that the Kanto team, however, has been chosen, we're going to go to Johto Pokemon. There should only be 100 new Pokemon. Yeah, there's 100 Pokemon in this generation, which means we're only going to have 100 different options. Now, here's kind of an annoying thing. This generation, so there's going to be the Johto Pokedex, the Galar Pokedex, and some other ones, that there's a good chance that I'll have to use a pure type starter because all the starters are pure typing. Johto, for example, with the generation we're on now, has pure typings for all of the starters. So we're just going to have to go around that situation by finding other Pokemon that can help us out with that. Okay. Automatically, first Pokemon I want to add to the team is Crobat. Crobat is a poison flying type, and I think it's a really good Pokemon, really good upgrade from Zubat and Golbat, and just overall better Pokemon. Really good as well, in my opinion. So let's just look through all of these. The fairy typing didn't exist back in the older games, though, so I'm going to have to let that slide. I'm going to have to say no to Azumarill just because the fairy typing didn't exist until Kalos, which is after all of the Johto games were out. Ooh. This one's a maybe right here. This one's a maybe. Slowking. Steelix is in the game? Okay. Oh, yeah. Yeah, we're also going to use Scizor, I mean. So, Bug / Steel. The only annoying part is you have to get a Metal Coat, give it to Scizor, and then trade it. So, it's kind of like Golem, but with an extra step. However, Scizor is a really good Pokemon. It has a 4 times weakness to fire, but it also is really good, and put Bullet Punch on this motherfucker, and I think the Technician ability will also help it if it has Bullet Punch, and it's a really good fucking Pokemon. So yeah, that's why I want to use it. Ooh, I heard that Macargo's really slow, so I don't think I would want to use a Macargo. But I think a Houndoom would be useful. Hold on. Kingdra. Have I chosen my water type yet? No, I haven't. Fuck. But the starters, man. Fuck. I don't want to use Meganium. I'm going to keep it a buck. I'm not using Meganium. Oh, so I guess I'm going to have to choose between Houndoom and Kingdra. And whichever one I don't choose, I'm going to have to choose the starter for that type. Because I'm not using Meganium. I don't like Meganium, and it's statistically the weakest starter out of all the starters that exist. Hold on, let me go ahead and look at the rest of the Pokemon. Yeah, there's a bunch of babies. There's Miltank. Okay. Hold on, have I chosen a Rock or a Dark type yet? No, I haven't. Okay, if that's the case, then Tyranitar is going on the team. Tyranitar, who is a Rock/Dark type. Okay. Nice. So it's the pseudo legendary of the Johto games, and it's a really good Pokemon. With that being in mind, that means the Dark type has been taken up, which means I can no longer use Houndoom due to the dual typing, which means Kingdra is going to be on the team. So let's add Kingdra to the team, which is a Water/Dragon type. The Dragon type is going to help out. The Water type is also going to be useful, which also means that the starter we will be choosing is going to be Typhlosion. Hope I spelled that right, because it's going to make me misspell it. Okay, so now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We need one more Pokemon. We need one more Pokemon on the team. So we don't have a grass Pokemon. Okay, there's actually a lot of typings we still need. Let's see here. Have we used Steel or Ground yet? We've used Steel. Okay. We've already used Water, otherwise I'd use Slowking. Damn. But have I used Water or Ground? Yeah, I've used Water. Okay. I've used Flying, haven't I? I have, yeah. Let's see here. Ampharos isn't a bad option. So there's Ampharos we could use. There's also... we could also use Espeon. I was thinking about using Umbreon, but we kind of already took up the Dark type with Tyranitar. So Espeon is also a pretty decent option. And then there's also... is there any other options I want to use? Nah, it doesn't look like it. Alright, so if that's the case, I'm going to choose Ampharos on my team. Because, what was the other option that I wanted to use? I don't remember what the other option was that I wanted to use. It was Espeon. I don't have a Psychic type on the team. However, and I also don't know... I've never played a Johto game and finished it or anything, so I don't really know how good Electric type is against the Johto region compared to Psychic. But, yeah. That's all I'm going to say on that. I don't really care enough to try to figure out what I'm going to say. Okay, so now that we've gotten the Johto team dealt with, let's deal with setting up a Hoenn team. Oh yeah, I spelled Hoenn wrong. Instead of it being HN, it's actually just 2 N's. There we go. So then let's go to... we've been using Cerebi for the list, so let's just pull it up. It's got Ruby and Sapphire. So here's the thing, right? I don't want to use Sceptile because it's the only pure typing starter. So the starter is going to be between Blaziken and Swampert. For now, I'm going to hold off on that and try to figure out some other members. Okay. Wait, this actually shows me the base stats of them as well, I just realized. Thankfully. Okay, so... Oh, damn. Oh, it's the Ruby and Sapphire list, so it's not going to show typings that aren't in Ruby and Sapphire. Okay, so the first Pokemon I want to use is Breloom, which is a grass / fighting. I really like using Breloom. That also means that the starter we're going to be using is Swampert, because Blaziken is part ground. Well, it's part fighting, which means it would overlap with Breloom, and we can't have that. So we're not going to use that. You know what? No, hold on. I want to see a list of specifically Hoenn Pokemon. I don't want any, like, outside of Kanto Pokemon in this list. Swellow could be a good option. Not going to lie. Swellow could be a really good option. Hold on. I need a Cerebi list that's not the Pokedex. I'm not doing it by Pokedex number. Okay. List of Gen 3 Pokedex, no. How many Pokemon does Hoenn have? Okay, Hoenn Pokemon in National Dex. Let me just get a look at the National Dex, I guess. Okay, here we go. So I'm hoping this is actually like a list of Gen 3 specific. Nope. The Aberline is right there. Fuck, man. Shedinjan's not a bad call. Okay. Ignore any Pokemon that's from Generation 1 and 2. We could use Camerupt for a fire ground type. Flygon's a pretty good one with the ground dragon. I thought Melodic was part psychic. Yeah. Okay, let's see here. Feels a pretty good one, but we already got the water type, so we gotta move past that. Oh. Okay. So, I'm going to put Metagross on the team. It's the pseudo legendary, and it's a steel psychic. There's only one caveat. I don't know why I keep misspelling psychic, but you know what? Whatever. Oh, I misspelled Swampert. Hold on. There we go. The only caveat with Metagross is that it's got a really low catch rate, so it's going to be a pain in the ass to try to catch. And for some games, it's not even available until, like, the post game. So I don't even know how you would get any of the Beldum line before the post game, but yeah, I'll figure it out. So I might figure out a backup Pokemon in case Metagross won't work. Speaking of which, I'm gonna put Camerupt on there. Yeah. Fuck. Wait, no, I can't. I already have a ground type. Yeah, fuck. Okay. So, oh, I already got a ground type, so I can't use Flygon. However, a different dragon type I can use is Salamence, which is a dragon flying type. So I'm going to add Salamence to the team, which is a dragon / flying type. It's basically the Charizard of this generation. Not the Charizard, the Dragonite of this generation. I don't know why the hell whatever. Let's just move past that. So Relicanth is a Hoenn Pokemon. Okay, good to know that. Let's see here. What other Pokemon would go good in this team? Let's see how it looks now. Swampert, Breloom, Metagross, and Salamence. What Pokemon would complement them? Do I have a grass or a rock type yet? No. If that's the case, Cradilly could work. Ooh, Altaria could replace Salamence. Nah. I'm good with Salamence. It's just gonna take a long ass time to level grind. Yeah, let's add Cradilly. It's a fossil Pokemon, so I'd have to actually find a damn fossil. But it's, what was it, rock slash bug? No, it's rock slash grass. That's a better typing in my opinion. Okay, so I do need to keep in mind though that I need to find a replacement steel and or psychic type to replace you know what, I got an idea. So hold on. The only problem is this idea for replacing Metagross is gonna make me have to replace Cradilly. However, or Aggron. How do you spell Aggron? Is it Aggron? Aggron, yeah. Aggron if Metagross is unavailable. The reason why I say that is because let's just remove Cradilly because I don't want any type overlaps. So, and Aggron and Cradilly both have the rock type, so I don't really want that situation going down. So that means I can't have any fossil Pokemon on this list either since they're all rock type. The reason why I say if Metagross is unavailable, hold on, is because I know that, like, the earliest, unless I'm wrong, the earliest I can remember being able to actually get a Metagross, or at least any member of the Metagross line, is after beating the champion Steven, he will gift you a Beldum. That's the only time that I can think of where you can actually get a any of the Beldum line. So it kind of just puts me in a weird spot with that, because I'm like, damn, what am I going to do to try to fix it? What am I going to do if I can't get it? So I put Aggron in as a backup in case I can't find the answer to that. There's a lot of water type Pokemon in this generation. Huh. Huh. Could add Melodic to the team. No, I can't. I have Swampert. Could add Wait, do I have a Dark type yet? No. So I could add Cacturn. I could also look for a Psychic type. Yeah, Psychic type. Ooh. Oh, fuck. I already have a Water type. Damn, Sharpedo could have gone hard, though. I think Cacturn might be a good call just for the Grass Dark type. Yeah, fuck it. Let's put Cacturn in there. So we're going to use Cacturn because of the typing. Grass / Dark. Which, fun fact, I'm pretty sure anyone who plays Scarlet and Violet has already known this. But Cacturn and Meowscarada, which is the Grass type starter in Scarlet and Violet, have the exact same typing. So that's fun to know, I guess. And now Meowscarada fucks shit up, so why not have him fuck shit up too? You know what? Ooh. Hold on. Which one's better, Cacturn or Shiftry? Because they have the same typing. Cacturn stats. Shiftry stats. So I'm going to use Pokemon Database for both of these. I'm gonna check how long I've been. That is Twitch. I hope that doesn't fuck anything up. I'm gonna check how long I've been recording while I wait for that to look. Damn. Okay, yeah, this is only half of what I'm gonna do for this video. Okay, so the base stats for Cacturn is 475. I need to get Twitch out of my face. Twitch, fuck off, please. What time is it? 8:07. Damn. And then 480, 475. So they're 4 points off. I think I'm gonna go for Shift Tree actually, because Shift Tree has better looking stats, and I know Shift Tree is easier to get. However, if I remember correctly, Shift Tree is actually a version exclusive, which is kind of annoying. So, I have an idea. This is a really bad Pokemon to add to this team. However, oh wait a minute, hold on. Have I added a bug or a ghost type yet? No. Okay. So here's my ideas for the team. The first idea I was thinking was putting Gardevoir on the team. I think Gardevoir is a decent Pokemon, and once it gets the Fairy type, like how it does in Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire, I think it would be a really good dual typing for the team. The second idea I have is Slacking. It's a pure normal type, which is kind of deterring me from wanting it on the team. And its Truant ability is kind of making me not want it even more. But I do think that Slacking is still a pretty good Pokemon, despite that setback. So, barring the setback, I still think he's a pretty good one. And then the third option I have, which I think would be the best idea for my team, is Shedinja. It's a bug ghost type, so it's a dual typing that I have neither one of the typings for right now. And the only thing that's holding me back is the fact that it has 1 HP. However, it does have the Wonder Guard ability to deter that, which is also the best, one of, if not the best abilities in the game. So I think I'm going to have Shedinja be my Pokemon. Be my final Pokemon. Bug / Ghost. It only gets hit by Pokemon it's weak to, which is why it's such a good Pokemon. It only has 5 weaknesses. And, like, yeah, other than that, you can't get hit by it. It can't get hit. So, since this video has already gone long enough, I have done 3 generations of Pokemon so far. I was planning on putting this into 2 parts. However, depending on how the second part goes, if it ends up being as long as this video is, then I'm probably going to have to do a 3rd part of this, which I am fine with. However, I'm going to go ahead and end the video off here, guys. So if you like what you saw, please leave a like on the video. Hold on, let me change it to the face cam. There we go. Let's do the outro on the face cam. So I'm going to go ahead and end the video off here, guys. So if you like what you saw, please leave a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss an upload. Don't mind my cat. It's kind of trying to get in between my doors. So if it's meowing and getting picked up by the mic, then that's, like, I'm sorry about that. Can't really control what my cat's doing right now. But, what was I saying? If you haven't already, leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you don't miss an upload. If you want to check out my other socials, you can go to the about section of the channel, or to the description of this video and all my other videos. With that all being said, my name is Fate. This has been part 1 of me going through each Pokemon region, each Pokemon generation, I should say, and choosing Pokemon that I think would go for the best Pokemon teams of that generation. With that all being said, I'm out of here. Bye, guys.